How y'all doing today? Y'all good? Y'all good? This is actually my first time being at something like this. I wanted to know kind of like what kind of like place is this? I've never been at something like this before prior. Resource Center. Okay. Oh yeah. Okay. I see something like this, like in Wilmington and stuff like that, where they make handout stuff like that. Okay. Cool. Usually I speak at like schools. I was just speaking to Jacob, right? You know, Jacob, yeah. I was speaking to Jacob. We were speaking about, like, I speak at school. I spoke at Martin Luther King High School in Philly, Strawberry Mansion High School, places like that, too, as well. McCullough Middle School. So I usually speak in Delaware and Philly most of the time. So I've never been this far back south in Delaware since I went to Delaware State University a couple years ago. But now it's good to meet everybody. I'm going to talk a little bit about today about my story. And then, of course, you know, there's going to be some participation if you guys want to. I'm going to be giving out some stuff. So, you know what I mean? Hopefully everybody paying attention, win yourself some prizes or whatever, just to keep the engagement pretty much going, right? So first I'm going to start off with my story. Before my name was Carlos, it used to be Michael. So my name used to be Michael James Cole Jr. Has anyone seen Maury in here or like Jerry Springer or anything like that? Yeah. Okay, all right. You're not the father, right? So that was something similar that happened to me, right? So when I was younger, my mom was unfaithful with my father, Ricardo, and she actually named me after her boyfriend at the time, which his name was Michael. So I grew up pretty much the first 7 years of my life thinking somebody else completely was my father. I thought I was the only child. I found out now I got 15 brothers and sisters.
What's going on? What are we getting at here? What's your dialogue? Like, I don't understand. You're talking about what you just said, but I need to know what's the importance of what we're getting at. I don't want to laugh. I want something that's going to be fruitful.
No. This is going to be foolproof. Yeah, this is just the beginning of my story, talking about kind of like some of the hardships that I had to overcome growing up and stuff like that too as well, okay? But yeah, you know, I'm just building up the catch. I don't want to start.
Man, I don't know these other cats and whatnot. I'm going to cut right through the chase. That's how I'm.
Oh, no, for sure. I actually absolutely understand that completely too as well. But yeah, no problem. And what's your name too, sir? Tata, how you doing? I'm Carlos, man. But yeah, so like I said, then once I grew up and pretty much seen that I had 15 brothers and sisters, stuff like that, life got a little bit more difficult at this point, right? Being as though with so many of us in one house. I mean, we lived. What's up, bro?
So once you found out that so then you connected with your real dad?
Yeah. So I actually moved. Yeah, I moved with my real dad after that. We actually stood in somewhere like Newcastle, Delaware. Okay. We were staying in like a 2-bedroom house, but like with. Yes, so you can already imagine pretty much how it was, you know what I mean?
And I thought I grew up in the trenches. God damn.
Yeah, bro, I'm talking about like literally like a hole. I had a hole in the wall that led outside, man. Like mildew smell on the floor.
Yeah, bro, you can't just be videoing.
Oh no, he's only getting me. He's only getting me. Yeah. 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 Literally, I'm talking about like roaches in the house, like falling from you open up the cabinets, they fall down in the cabinets and stuff like that too as well. We only ate like once. I only ate when I was at school, so when I got home, really wasn't eating or something like that. And then after that, it was like I said, it was always kind of like me fending for myself. But one thing I always did is I kept my head in the books. I kept my head in the, you know what I mean, just basketball. That's all I was worried about, basketball, school, and then my girlfriend, which is now my wife now. So I've been married for almost 4 years now. Yeah, appreciate it, bro. No, so literally all of that happened, and I was still able, with all that stuff going on, I was able still to get everything that I needed to do, push myself through everything, and the way I was able to do it was through a certain blueprint, right? So I know I told you guys I was going to be giving out some prizes and stuff like that, right? So my keys fell through my pocket. This is not what I'm giving out. No cars. I'm not Oprah. But
you in a car.
But I will say this though. So who in here likes money though? Okay, everybody loves money? Okay. Okay, all right, cool. So we got 5, all right? It's a good prize, all right? Okay, cool. So, like I said, a lot of my story was like, with all that stuff going on, it was like, how do I even like get there, right? So a lot of it took like perseverance though, right? So like even right now, right? Like what's stopping y'all from getting this 5 right now?
What's stopping you from getting that 5?
Yeah.
Snatching out your hand. That's what's stopping you.
What's stopping you from getting it?
We're not barbarians.
There you go. You can have it.
Wow.
So literally, that was I'm not gonna lie, usually that was actually the most calm it's ever been. Usually everybody runs up and say, oh my God, let me get that 5. Because that's the point that I was trying to say, right? I just literally said, what stop you get from 5? I'm holding it up. He got up and walked up to it.
But it was the precursor of what he said, though. That it it sounded like he was gonna ask a question.
No, we gave it out. No, we're gonna get another one. No, we're gonna get. We got more prizes. We got more prizes. We got more prizes though. We got more prizes. But that was the thing I was saying, right? A lot of times, even with all that stuff going on, I think all that's just mental. All that's just mental blocks stopping you from getting to where you need to go. You know what I mean? No matter what type of environment you're in. Like I said, we were living 15 brothers and sisters to a 2-bedroom. You know what I mean? A lot of people would think like, all right, you know what? You can either, because some of my brothers, they are in the, you know, been incarcerated before, been arrested, all that stuff. I ended up deciding not to be like that statistic because I just literally just focused on my books, focused on my school. I wrote a book. I'm over here speaking and stuff like that. Things that my brother's not doing at all. I could have been just like them too as well, but I didn't allow my environment to decide what I was going to do. Yeah, to take my future, right? And sometimes our mind, this is the most powerful thing we have. It builds invisible barriers where y'all just right now, nobody got up to get this $5. Going, man, right here. What was your name too?
I can't do that trick in a bank.
Wait for the question.
No, but
We thought it was like a game show.
no, it's like
We got prizes. You said like
no.
Steve Harvey.
You said Steve Harvey.
I was like, okay, I'm sure you got a
I
game show going on.
thought it was like, yeah, I definitely thought it was like something else. I thought he was like, what's the-
Even what was your name too, Miss Robbie? Even Miss Robbie right here was like fake snatching. Like like if she wasn't really going up and getting it because like a lot of times our mind builds invisible barriers. We think, oh, we can't do this, we can't do that. But that's what my mind changed a while ago. Oh, I'm sorry about that. When I was like 18 years old and I read my first entrepreneur books. I didn't know what a business owner entrepreneur was until I was 18. And I opened up that book. It was Rich Dad Poor Dad, and I didn't learn anything from that book on real estate. I ain't gonna lie. I don't remember nothing about that, but I remember the language first. He said, stop saying I can't. To change that till I can. Stop saying I'll try. I'm going to do this. I will. I must. You know what I mean? Start switching your whole vocabulary. And after I started switching my vocabulary, then I started thinking a little different. I'm like, okay, maybe I could get there, you know, regardless.
Is it because how many times you have failed thinking that you shut it off and you're like, nah, it ain't nothing possible.
Yeah, it's kind of like you.
You switch that, like you're saying. Yeah,
Well,
it makes sense. It makes
I think it was
sense.
probably because of the environment you grew up in.
Yeah, that tries to like.
That made you think that there was nothing.
There's nothing there for you. It plays tricks on you, and then you just gotta keep like, you know what? I gotta keep. I can do it. I can do it. I must. I will. I know this is something I can do. I'm not gonna just try to do it. You know what I mean? And once I started switching that vocabulary, I just started speaking it. I wake up in the morning and just say, I am great. You know what I mean? I'm unstoppable. You know what I mean? I love God. Like, you know what I mean? I don't know how many people I talk about God when I'm. Yeah, I talk about God a lot.
I don't put God in it, but just that, like speaking prosperity over your life. When we start thinking positive, that's when the doors are open. We are not what you call, because things that we went through our past is not going to dictate what our future is going to be.
Absolutely. And, you know, and let's do an exercise. Let's start it right now, right? I want everybody in here to say, I'm not my past. Can y'all say that with me? I'm not my past. I'm not my past, y'all. I'm telling you. But say it like you mean it, though. I feel like y'all ain't really say it like y'all meant it, though. I'm not my past, though, right? So that's what I really started thinking, like, well, I'm not my past. This is, I know I can do this. I can do that. And then that's when I started, like I said, started playing college basketball. I didn't start playing basketball until I was 14, 15 years old. And I'm like walking on to a college basketball team, taking scholarships. And I'm like, dang, I never thought I'd be here. And when I was just over here eating about this much rice and one drumstick, and that was dinner, and I'm like, all right, you know, I didn't think I was getting her. Or when I was sleeping on that bed and there was roaches crawling around, I'm with my book bag and stuff like that, like this. I didn't think I would be to this. You know what I mean? Right now, where I'm at. And even now, I always remember that, though. Because a lot of times people will go forward without remembering where they came from. I remember where I came from, and that's what makes me work even harder. Right? It makes me work way, way harder to not go back to that type of environment or anything like that, right? So we're going to do another exercise. Can I have a volunteer, though? You volunteer? Okay, you volunteer. Sorry, she raised her hand first. Okay, I got you. So let me ask you this. How many push-ups you think you could do?
What kind?
The regular push-ups, just right here. Oh, I got you ready.
4.
4? Okay. If you do 6, I'll give you a prize. But when you're doing your 6 push-ups, can we cheer her on now? Yeah. Can we cheer her on? Can we give her some energy right here? We throw some stuff here? Come on, let's go. You got this. Come on. Come on, get 6 push. Get 6 out the door. Get 6 out the way. Come on, you got it. Come on, you got this.
I can go on my knees.
That's fine. That's fine. Listen, go ahead. You got this. Come on, let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Come on, you got this. Come on. Let's go. 1. Yeah. 2. Yeah. 3. Yep. 4. Come on, 2 more. 5. Come on. 6. Come on. You keep going. 7. Look. 8. Oh man, she not stopping. 9. Let's go. You got this. Come on. 10. Yeah. Yeah, I got you.
59 years old.
59 years old? I didn't know you were over 30. My fault.
I had 7 operations between both legs and on my shoulder. I got a plate in my ankle, artificial knee, and a plate in my shoulder.
And you still did it.
But God has me, and I can still walk.
Yes,
I
ma'am.
can do 10 push-ups.
And you did 10 push-ups. And you thought you could only do 5.
Yeah, I didn't think I could do it because I'm tired.
So that was the second thing that I had to do,
But
right?
My mom taught me that I can do whatever I set my mind to.
Absolutely, every single time. And that was the second thing that taught me. The first one was that perseverance, right? Taking away those invisible barriers. The second thing is, no problem. Second thing is I had to change my environment. So I'm like, you know what? I'm hanging around the guys that's over here playing the block. They play in the corner. They over here selling whatever they doing. I'm like, you know what? Hold on. Let me just step away from them. Let me hang out with the guys that's maybe just playing basketball, or let me hang out, man. Me and Eddie, we ain't go to the same high school, but if anybody knew me in high school, I was at every single table. I'm with the guys that's with the 4.0s. I'm at the basketball table. I'm at the football table. I'm at the people the people that's just watching the anime. I'm everywhere because I was like, you know what? I'm able to adapt to my environment. But then I knew there were certain environments I had to kind of step away from. And then when I started to get into environments where you should be I'd rather be the smallest fish in the ocean than rather be the biggest fish in a little pond.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because then all that is going to, iron sharpens iron. So when I'm around all those people that are talking about success, talking about prosperity over their life, talking about hanging out with people that's making millions of dollars and stuff, I'm like, whoa, like this is something I know I can get to, and I know I will get to eventually, right? And it drove me to become better. Rather than falling victim to my environment, and then it makes your mind think past it. And then when I had people like them cheering me on too as well, like we just cheered on, it makes you go past your limits. My old trainer used to always say, he said, never go to E, go past E. When you feel like you can't do enough, that's when you start counting. So we'll be doing pull-ups, and I'm like, oh, I can't do no more. All right, bet. Now we start counting, do 5. You know what I mean? I'm like, dang, and I'll just try to push through, and I'll push through those 5. And the next day I won't be able to straighten my arms out, but I know after that, though, it will be like I push myself past my limits. And that's what she just did just now. Push past her limits. Now next time she's probably gonna do 12 push-ups. Next she coming and she a bodybuilder next. You know what I mean? So that was the second part that I had to do, was after that it was build myself up to that, right? So change my environment, take those imaginary things out of the way, and then another thing is I had to start writing my goals down, right? But not write down. A lot of times people like to write down their 10, 5-year goals. I mean, let me hear from some of y'all. What are some of y'all goals, like some things that you want to achieve?
My goal is to own a house in 5 years.
Own a house in 5 years. Okay, you can do it in 3. Anybody else got any type of goals that they want to achieve?
I'm trying to get my business successful.
Yeah, you will get your business successful.
Get a job ASAP.
You will get a job, right? You will get a job. You got some of you never answered? Okay, that's cool. That's cool though. But these are some of the goals. So I would think about some of the things that I would say. Like, I'm like, you know what? I used to always say I wanted to go to the NBA. I ain't gonna lie. As soon as I started, I was like, I want to go to the NBA, or I wanted to be. But even now, I say I want to be the greatest motivational speaker ever. No, I will be the greatest motivational speaker ever, right? I always say that. But then sometimes we focus too far. We're looking all the way ahead right here. But then it's like, all right, you say you want to buy a house. Okay, first, I don't know where you are in your journey, but somebody that, like my brother, when he got his house, first he had to get a job first, right? Then he had to save his money. Then he had to build his credit. Baby steps to it. You can't jump from here to here. I mean, I might be able to. I ain't gonna lie, I got bounced, but some people might not be able to jump from here to here though, right? They got to start with just the little stuff every single day. You get yourself better, 1% better every single day. Even when I go to the gym now, I mean, I'll be dreading like, oh my gosh, I gotta get up, gotta go to the gym. This morning I was there at 5 this morning. I'm like, but what I did first, I just put my shoes near the door. I'm like, all right, then I'll pack my bag. All right, let me get in the car the next morning. All right, cool. Next day I'll drive to the gym and I won't even go in. I'm just like, all right, I'm just here though, right? And then next I'm in there. And I'm like, oh, so I'm here, I might as well do it, right? You got to build those baby steps up. So I just built those baby steps up with this. Man, this is my, 7th or 8th speaking gig this year. last year I had 1 or 2, you know what I mean? And before that, I wasn't even thinking about this, you know what I mean? I was just always posting, like, I'm gonna be the greatest motivational speaker ever. I'm gonna be the greatest motivational speaker ever. I just kept posting and posting and posting, speaking into existence every day. And I was like, boom, I got 7 gigs, right? Oh, well, you know what? Now I got my book. I just wrote a book. I'm like, dang, my book is out now too as well. I published a book. Like, it was like those baby steps. I just focused on the baby steps every single day. And then by the time I look back, I'm all the way over here now. And I'm like, dang, like, I didn't even realize that I was already right here. So when you write your goals down every single day, it does something. It's just like you have something to look forward to. It's not even about achieving a goal, to be honest with you. It's really not. It's about who you become in the process. Because you got to change who you are first before you achieve it. Because you can get the job today, you can get the house today, but if you still got bad spending habits, or you still get up late for work, or you still don't, then you're just going to end up losing it again. There's so many people that they get a whole bunch of money real quick, and then they end up losing it all fast because they didn't have no good spending habits. We was just talking about that, right? Just having no better spending habits. So it's like when you build your goal, you got to first remember change the person that you are before, and then once you change that person, then you'll be able to achieve. So that's something I had to do too. Just write down my goals every single day, right? And then the last thing I did, which this actually took me over like crazy, right? I know everybody not be religious, but it was when I put God first. I'm not even gonna lie to you. I mean, I swear it was like, even just over this last couple weeks, I feel like it was like the craziest, it felt like some of the roughest weeks, regardless of all the stuff that I was going through, you know, before when I was a kid. It just felt like the roughest weeks since I'm like, dang, like what's going on? Like, I feel like I'm just not me. And I'm just watching all this stuff, and I just kept trying to do everything by myself. And then I was like, you know what? Boom, all right, my wife got this church. She goes to this church since she was a kid. Let me just start going to church. All right, cool, started going there. Then I started opening up the Bible. Then I started being around other people, and it's just like, dang, when you put God first, you can achieve anything. Like, you really can achieve everything. And I was so scared to kind of like really commit. Cause I'm like, oh, you can't have fun and be all about God. You know what I mean? Like, but I'm like, nah, you can have fun and be all about God. If anything, it's going to be more fun because you're going to even flourish even more. And when I just started putting all that stuff into God.
How do you put God first in a practical way?
So in a practical way, like, I mean, literally, when I wake up in the morning, the first thing I do is open up my Bible. Literally, in a practical way, I'll open my Bible, I'll read a chapter, all right, boom, start taking my notes. Or I'll get up, I'll start doing some prayer, I'll do some meditation. Me and my wife, we got this little affirmation, little book we read together. We'll read that. I'll get up, I'll listen to a sermon online, like even a motivational speech. I like to listen to Eric Thomas, the hip hop preacher. So he's like a preacher, but he's a little bit different, you know what I mean? He's a motivational speaker, but like he'll wear the shorts and a shirt. And you're like, dang, you sure you're a motivational speaker? It's like, nah, but he just wants to show you a little bit different, you know what I mean? And I'll just listen to that first thing in the morning, as soon as I wake up, because the first 30 minutes of your day are so important. It's your diet, right? Not like literally what you're eating, but what you're seeing, what you're hearing. Like, that's all part of your diet. All that stuff you're consuming into yourself, right? So I started just consuming that first thing. Yeah, bro, that's all.
Like that, cause like the first 30 minutes, I might lay down and just be on my phone scrolling, and then something might piss me off. Now my day started based off of that. The first 30 minutes.
That first 30 minutes of your day.
I never look at it like that. Like, if I start off like just reading something motivational, or starting off something that's positive, or something that I need to do before, like something like that for the day, it'll make my day completely different.
Man, listen, he just asked me that. He was like, how you doing? Every time somebody asks me how I'm doing, I say, I'm always great. I never had a bad day in my life. I always say that because you decide. I'm always great. I never had a bad day in my life, ever. Just because it's challenging doesn't mean that it's bad. And you get to decide whether or not that day is bad or not. It always comes to you. It doesn't matter what's going on, right? You are the one that makes that decision. You can look at it one way or you can look at it another way. And like I said, that first 30 minutes is so important. Man, I know people that wake up there, throw it, NBA Youngboy. I'm like, yo, listen, your day about to be crazy. You know what I mean? But if you wake up and you may listen to, like you said, something motivational, or I'll listen to like a podcast of an entrepreneur talking about how they came out of, this situation, or how they was homeless before and all that, how they get, and then now that my whole day is like, you know what? Now I'm ready to just attack the day, like full on.
Speaking volumes in our life, because a lot of times I'm like brutally honest, and I just stop like telling people. I stop letting the left hand know with the right hand, because our words speak power. If I tell somebody I'm homeless all the time, they're gonna look at me as a homeless person. We have life. God said, if I give a bird a place to live, why should I not do for you? Right. So that's how I try to look at my attitude about life. Is just stop being negative. Stop giving people what they want. The devil wants. He's all negative. To keep us down.
Absolutely, and that's true.
I'm sorry, I want to chime in too. When you talk about the mindset, the mindset is definitely key, because if you're always talking about what's bad in life, that's what you're going to focus on. What you think on is what you magnify. The Bible says, as a man thinks, so is he.
Absolutely. That's why that book is Think and Grow Rich. It's not, you know what I mean? Like, you got to think first. You got to, this is a muscle too, huh?
What book?
It's called Think and Grow Rich.
Who wrote that?
Napoleon Hill. Yeah, he like, that's when everybody started getting to that self-development back then too as well. He created this book called Think and Grow Rich. You literally think and grow rich. Your brain is literally a muscle. So the more stuff you learn, and just to get into a little scientific, it's called neuroplasticity. So the more things that you learn, your brain starts to get like different grooves. That's why it has those little wrinkles in the brain. So the more you start to learn, the more you're getting those wrinkles in those brain. Now you changing even literally the chemistry of your brain or the way it even looks. You know what I mean? Now you starting to think a little bit different. Like now I'll look at a situation and I won't even stress. You know what I mean? So I'm like, oh, I've been here before. I've done that. You know what I mean? I know I can get through it. And it's the same thing I told because right now also.
Right there, a lot of people don't read.
They
They don't read shit.
Yeah, that's true though.
Do allegory.
That's absolutely true too as well. A lot of people don't read. And even if you like, let's say, because sometimes people have struggled, like a lot of people like in my group and stuff like that, they'll be like, hey, I don't struggle with reading. I'm like, just get an audio book. Just listen to it every morning. You know what I mean? They got all these audio books on Amazon, a little Kindle thing. You can even download some of the books for free too as well. Go to the library. Like I say, leaders are readers. You know what I mean? If you want to be a leader, you got to be able to read because you got to be able to follow people those were my mentors. When everything was going on, I couldn't afford before to pay for like a mentor with programs that's $10,000, $3,000. Before it was just those books. And you get to experience someone else's life through those books. And you're like, all right, cool. This is how they did it. So let me try to follow in these footsteps, or these are some things of what not to do. And that's kind of like even growing up, seeing the stuff that was happening with my parents and all stuff like that and how they was treating it. I was like, you know what, that may be examples of what not to do, which is okay. You know what I mean? Now I just read these books and I'm building up what I should do and what I can do, you know what I mean? And I must do. And then, you look back and it's like I said, my journey's still not over. I'm still going on that journey, but, I'm just blessed to be able to be here to speak because who knows who needed to hear this today. You know what I mean? As long as one person is like, you know what, this actually touched me somewhere, or I learned something that can help me grow. And that's all I look forward to be honest with you. That's the thing that helps me the most. I just want to have the greatest impact that I can have and just help everybody, do what they can. But I mean, honestly, that's really my story and all I had to pretty much talk today. But I do.
It's a blessing to hear this.
I thank you. I appreciate it.
What made you want to come through this spot?
So I was literally, I want to say, because I have someone that literally calls places and tries to set up the speaking engagements for me. And they seen something on Facebook, Miss Kizzy, I think, Miss Green.
Kizzy.
Yep, Kizzy, yep. So she posted it, and then when she posted it, they were like, oh, yo, this is something right here. Just hit them up. And they just sent it to me. Actually, no, it was somebody from another guy. I spoke at a mental health summit. And the crazy thing about that, I had to speak at a mental health summit that it was probably maybe like a couple days after one of my childhood friends actually killed themselves. So I was like, dang, like, yo, this is crazy. I don't know how, but it just gave me like, God gave me the strength to be able to go in there and still talk and stuff. But yeah, they just sent this over to me, and I'm like, this is great. You know what I mean? This is something new, and I just want to go out there and however I can have an impact, I'm going to have an impact, to be honest with you. Yeah, no problem. No problem, sir. I appreciate you.
Sit down and watch the movie. It's something good, man. Life changing. What we want to do with it.
Absolutely, absolutely. Did anybody else have any questions or anything like that? Or
What you said,
Well, you got a
30
card?
minutes really
Made sense though. Like, 'cause I know how I start my day off, my first 30 minutes, and I know that shit depicts on how the rest of my day gonna go.
Absolutely, absolutely, every single time. And I mean, for more like other stuff, like when I speak in my content, I'm on Instagram as Loso 2.0 _. Loso
No
2.
Facebook?
I exchange context and
Yeah, I see.
You ain't got no Facebook?
Yeah, I'm on there too. Just Carlos J. Henry.
Are you related to any Henrys from Delaware? Like, are you from Delaware?
Yeah. I live in Delaware and Philly, but yeah, my
Some Henrys.
yeah, my dad. What high school did you go to?
I went to Lake Forest.
Like, oh, okay, nah, you know what? Actually, my grandfather and grandmother, they live kind of near Milford a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah,
Y'all
but
from there, all Sussex area.
oh yeah. But my dad, he went to William Penn, but his name's Ricardo though. So yeah, like I said, I got a lot of siblings. So
Popular name.
huh?
There's a lot of Ricardos.
Yeah, I got a lot of siblings. You might have ran into one.
Carlos?
Yeah, I'm Carlos.
Carlos what?
Carlos J. Henry. It should show a picture of me holding my book, Winners Win.
You wrote a book?
Yes, sir. Published a book. Been published for 2 years.
What's the name of it?
Winners Win. Yeah, just a little bit about my story. Got some stuff in there for people to kind of do exercises and stuff to kind of get you thinking a little bit differently than too as well.
From where you came from to what you got to do And when you're talking about where you came from, you didn't have that look of sadness or bitterness. Like what you got to do was the motivation.
That's it.
And you look happy.
That's all we do is look forward, man. I can't worry about, like I said, we not our past. That's what we said, like we not our past. So when I just look forward and I look at what that goal was, that's all I focused on, was just like, yo, that mission, like, and that just motivated me enough to kind of, and then knowing what I did come from, it's like, no, I'm not going back to that. So anything that I do is going to get me to move forward, legally. But yeah, y'all see what helps me with that.
I'm my own enemy when it comes to shit like that.
That's all it is. Like when boxers, I used to box too. When they're training, you're shadow boxing. You're going against yourself. Like when they say you're in the ring, you're against yourself. You're not even against the opponent, right? Like you're not worried about you. I mean, to an extent, but you're really just going against yourself, though, right? And like when you're saying I gotta do this, I gotta do that. I'm sorry, Jimmy, go ahead.
What I was going to easily say is that most of the time in life, you got to actually surround your people who got your best interests in
For
mind,
sure.
who want to push you forward and help you do good. If you're constantly around sour people who don't have nothing but nowhere to go, but don't have no life and whatnot, they don't care about growing or developing better or changing. You know what I mean? Because if you've been somewhere in a bad place, like a lot of people have fucked up parents, right? You know what I mean? Who were strung out on drugs, or whatever the case may be, like you said, living with a house full of roaches and all this and all that. Like, now you come from that, you're supposed to know to do better.
Yeah, sure.
You understand what I'm saying? You don't want to go repeat that cycle, and you don't blame your parents, or you don't blame that part of what you've been through. You know to do better, and you know what I mean? Make your situation better. And for the young brother right here, right? I just say to him that, you know what I mean? You got to constantly keep yourself around people who want to push how you push it. Like I said, if you got sour balls around you, all they gonna do is pull you down. You understand what I'm saying? They don't want to gain nothing. They don't want to grow. They don't want to make their life better. You understand what I'm saying? They just want to be what you would call a sucker with a left cross. You understand what I'm saying? So you just got to keep in mind with that. You know what I mean? And that if a motherfucker don't mean you well, you know what I mean? Push off. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah,
You know what I mean? You're gonna live your life and you're gonna keep doing well and whatnot, and that motherfucker gonna stand in the allegory. You know what I mean?
And like when you saying like I gotta do this, I gotta do that, I switched that into I get to do this. I get to do this, I get to do that. Because before I would say like, oh, I gotta pick up my nephew from school, I gotta do that. But before it was like I didn't even have a car. You know what I mean? So it's like I get to do this now. This is something that I'm actually grateful for doing.
Okay, just like before, I ain't have this way to feed myself or make money or have get customers and things that people
So now you
wanna
get to
buy
do that.
my product.
They do.
And I was like, I get to make
You get to do
moves
that.
for this person, or I get to put this out there and shit like that. It's more take it because it's like I'm saying it like it's like a chore or like just like a problem instead of being a blessing. And
It's a blessing.
Something positive that I get to do.
You get to do that. That people can't do that. Because some people can't even do that. You know what I mean? You talked about changing oils. I think somebody was over here saying like, I just want to get a job. You know what I mean? So it's like you looking at it as like, dang, I got to do this, that, and the third. But someone else is looking at it as like, dang, I wish I could do that so I can make that type of money to do that. And then as far as like the procrastination, I was like pretty big on that too as well. But then what I do now is like, I'm not gonna say I got ADHD or something, 'cause I don't know about that. But I set a timer pretty much like every hour. Every hour I got an alarm go off like, all right, you know what? Like 10 o'clock. If by 10, 11, I'm not doing it, my alarm just reminds me, yo, what are you doing? And I'm just like, oh, snap. And I'll look at it and be like, yo, get back to work. And I'm like, okay, cool. And then I'll just keep doing that. And I'll have that basically throughout my entire day. Because it's easy to, like you said, you just scrolling and you just like, all right, then you just brain dead. You just scrolling. And an hour go through. Yeah, go by and you won't even notice. You know what I mean? So then by the time my alarm go up, I'm like, oh, what the heck? It'll remind me just like, all right, take this down and do something that's productive.
I just want to comment on what you said about when you gotta do this, gotta do that. It's neat because it's so simple. Sometimes power of word is like one little letter, changing that O to an E.
Yep.
And like yo was saying that mindset, you don't gotta do anything, but you get to. That makes you want to get it done even quicker, you know what I mean?
Yeah, because now
I
you
remember that little engine that could, that nursery rhyme. Everybody, like you said, when you're around people who are sour and don't want the best for you, you gotta think for yourself. That little engine thought he could, and he did. And everybody's like, dang. That little engine could.
Yeah, like you said, so it's simple. The thing is, it's simple, but it's not easy. because it's easier to go back into the habits and stuff that you're used to doing anyway. You know what I mean? Like I could easily just lay around all day and be like, all right, whatever. You know what I mean? Or do stuff like, but you're like, no, it's simple. Just something simple saying instead of I get to do this. And you just keep saying that. At first you might be like, all right, I get to do it. Carlos told me to say this. This is corny, whatever. The next thing you know, you're gonna be like, you're gonna just realize you're just saying it. Like, oh, I get to do it. Then you might be like, oh, like there was this one of my coaching clients that I had. They had a problem where they felt like they couldn't experience like love to their own like child. They were like, dang, like I don't know why I feel like I'm kind of like disconnected from them, even though they just had their kid was like a baby. And I was like, yo, just start off by every day just saying I love you. That was it. Just say it. You know what I mean? Just keep saying you love him, you love him, you love him, you love him. And the next you know, she started saying it every day. It was like, it was corny, but she kept saying it, kept writing it down. Then she started doing stuff with, like, okay, let me take her to the park. Let me take her. It was like, oh, snap. Now, like, I really do love her. Like, she just started to fall into like, yo, I actually really love her. And it's like, you spoke that into existence so much. It's like, you start speaking into existence, then you start acting on it and also, and then just, you surround yourself with them. And now it's like, she actually really started falling, like, really like, oh, I really do love this kid. Like, this is my kid.
A lot of women, when they have children, especially young, who develop a syndrome.
Mm-hmm.
I forget what it's called, but postpartum depression.
Mm-hmm.
They can fall easy, especially with young mothers who don't have their fathers that are there.
Mm-hmm.
But you have to keep building, like you said, I'm a mother, so you got to keep building yourself and building yourself and building. Nobody's perfect,
Mm-hmm.
but God gave us children for a reason, and it's not always easy. But like you said, you keep saying I love you, you start to nourish it. It's a seed, and you start to nourish it, and then it will prosper. So it's a good thing.
That's all it is.
Like, just like speaking things into existence, just like you said, like setting goals for yourself. Like I've learned in the as long as you, like, no matter what you want to do, whatever your goal is, as long as you try and keep at it and don't quit, you will succeed at some point.
You will.
And that's like the biggest thing that I got from it, because
My fault.
things that like seem far-fetched or like just like impossible to do, but like when you think about it, it's like, bro, if you just keep at it, each day going on, you'll get further and further. Even though you might not be where you want to be at, but you'll start to see more and more results from day 100 to from the first day, you'll see a big difference. And like that's why, like, I just, no matter, even if like I don't sell oil or do anything for 90 days straight, I know that 99th day
You might be able to get it.
exactly
Success about stamina.
And I tried to, and I just took on the idea of just working on 2 businesses at the same time, and that's what I've been doing for the past 2 or 3 months. And yeah, that shit was hard. I mean, it's been hard, but I just said I'm just not going to stop.
Mm-hmm.
I know I'm going to push myself and make myself be able to do good, find the time to do good, because I want to create fragrances, make oils, and sell oils, and also I want to do wholesale and real estate as well at the same time. And it's just like, there's no reason why I can't. It's not against the law. Like there's no reason why I can't. Can't nobody tell me I can't do it, so I'm going to do it. And I just press myself. But that's why, like, sometimes when I come with that procrastinating shit like that, and days where I know I could have got way more work in progress done, but I didn't because due to my own negligence, it bothers me. But so I just like, it's like a switch that I've been trying to turn on within myself to just go and just don't stop throughout the day and shit like that.
Yeah.
And a lot of things like I let get in my way or make excuses stuff like that, but I just said,
Well, you can't let it step in.
it jumped out and it made sense.
Yeah, no, true. I like to think of it like this, because you said, like, if you had like a bad day where you don't get nothing done, right? If you had $365 right now, right, and you lost $1, you gonna throw 364 away? You see what I'm saying? So it's like, all right, cool. I lost that day. Okay, bad. I didn't do nothing that day. But now I can make the most of this next day, right? You still got 364 days to get done anything that you want to get done. So even if, and I don't even take it as far as to go down to the minute, right? If you lose 1 minute in one day, you don't got to throw the whole day away. If you lose 1 hour, you don't have to throw the whole day away. You know what I mean? You just got to, all right, now this next hour got to be better than that hour that was before. That's all about getting better. Like I said, just like we said with the steps, with the goals, it was like, one thing at a time, right? all right, you know what, today I didn't sell any oil. But, you know, maybe I reached out to, you know, 5 people and they were like, and no one got none, but I reached out to 5 people.
They took my number.
They took your number down. You see what I'm saying? It was this movie called Meet the Robinsons when he was making like a peanut butter jelly machine, and it broke down, and everybody was like, he just started crying. They were just like, yeah, let's go. And he's like, yo, why are y'all celebrating? He's like, because you failed. Because now you failed, and next time you get closer, you got to celebrate those failures just as much as, well, I don't even call them failures, because it's only failing when you stop. Yeah, lessons and blessings, right? You're going to learn something. Okay, all right, maybe this time, I tried to talk to him about oil this way. All right, maybe I was like a little too strong. All right, maybe this time, let me try to ask him a couple questions. Or maybe, you know, women that are over 35 don't like it as much. Let me try maybe some women that are like in their 20s or something like that. You will be able to kind of adjust it every single time. And as you continue to adjust it, the next you know, by the end of it, you're going to be like, dang, this was that first one. Man, I looked at it the first time I was on video, and I looked terrible, man. I'm over here just like, yo, this is just, it looked just terrible. I looked a mess, hair. I mean, I still didn't get my hair cut till Friday, but I had no haircut. I looked crazy, you know what I mean? But then I look at even my last one, I'm like, dang, and then I see it blowing up on social media, like, oh, snap, like, that was nothing like the first one that I did. The first one I did, I was so nervous. I felt like just out of place. And now it's like, you just keep building on it. So just, like I said, don't throw away the rest of it just because that first, you made it, it just wasn't the way you wanted it to be the first time. You see what I'm saying? That's how I look at it too as well. But yeah, did anybody else have any more questions or anything else that you want to? Well, I appreciate you guys for having me. Like I said, I'm blessed actually to be out here and be able to speak to everybody. Thank you so much for that little round. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Thank you. And like I said, if you've read any of my stuff or anything, you can always go on my Instagram, loso2.0_. And on there, it has some more of my speaking stuff. It has some more motivational content. It's just a bunch of free stuff, you know what I mean? Free resources, all that stuff like that. So thank you so much, everybody. Appreciate it.